People seeking asylum in the city of Portland show up day after day, despite the city's announcement earlier this summer that it could no longer coordinate housing for them. The community groups that help them say it's unpredictable how many people will show up and when.
And right now, one of the options is to place them in shelter hotels in South Portland. But that all changes in about 4 months when new conditions will dictate who can stay in which hotels.
Where are these families going to sleep this weekend or next week?
That's the question for dozens of people arriving in Portland week after week.
Kind of that lack of coordination that presents a challenge.
Tobin Williamson is the advocacy manager for the Maine Immigrants' Rights Coalition. He says families and community groups have to call around to find places for them to stay. Making it harder is not knowing how many people will show up or when.
It's very unpredictable. Sometimes there will only be a couple of families and a few individuals arrive, and then with no rhyme or reason, the next week we'll see, a couple of dozen. It's tough to allocate resources when you don't know the busy week or the slow week. So yeah, it's a challenge.
According to Amnesty International, people seeking asylum are waiting for the federal government to grant them refugee status. Right now, those people are able to shelter in hotels in South Portland. But that changes in 2023. 2 of those hotels will no longer take in people on any type of assistance program. That includes asylum seekers. City Council agreed to these conditions last week.
If we have another surge, another week with 80 new arrivals, then that would be a challenge to try to figure out where to place them.
Certainly going to be an issue we want to raise awareness to and encourage people to proactively think through it so that we're not scrambling at the last moment to try to figure out a safe place for someone to go.
People seeking asylum can still go to the Howard Johnson and Quality Inn, but Williamson says even when one room opens, dozens of people are waiting to get in. In a statement to New Center, Maine, South Portland City Manager Scott Morelli said it should not be up to a hotel to determine whether or not someone has shelter. We need reforms to how the system operates, including a state-run program to help families and individuals with resettlement across Maine.
This is not a problem or a challenge that's unique to Maine's immigrant community. It's just, become more pronounced as more people have arrived.
We are still waiting for the state to respond to the South Portland City Manager's comment.